So, throughout the process of my recovery and over the last 7 years, a big thing for me is the clarity that you can have of your own situation. And that may be the situation at your work, some family circumstances, but more importantly, the clarity of your human experience. And that could be anything from bodily sensations, thoughts, emotions, memories, different behaviors. It's clarity of what you're going through, trying to identify what your issues are, where they come from, um, so that once you've got the issue identified and you know what it is, you can then go do something to solve it, right? Without the clarity of that, you'll just be using a bunch of methods and going in circles, just movement for the sake of movement. Now, I'm a big fan of naming emotions, understanding what certain physical sensations indicate in my body, how food, sleep, exercise, those sort of things affect me and my state of mind. But a lot of the time, it can seem very daunting and it can be very complex. And there's a lot of confusion around, when does this feeling start? Where does it come from? Am I even aware of it? Whatever it is, right? All the complexity around those things that you may not be used to. I mean, you always get told to do things like naming emotions. And I think having a broader vocabulary and some verbiage to understand that is going to be part of the solution in order to diagnose for yourself, and then prescribe a solution to your affliction. Now, there are lots of ways you can do it, but I think the easiest way to simplify it and summarize it is, am I feeling up or am I feeling down? Now, back in the day when I was really in crisis, in 2018, 17, 18, 19 kind of period, my thing was down. I was down, down, down. I was depressed. So I had depression. And that would be low mood, apathy towards basically everything, loss of interest, all that typical stuff that you hear about depression and low mood, right? So that was my thing. And I would always use all these different metaphors and analogies and stuff to sort of identify how I was feeling it. And it would always change, and it was always a little bit confusing. Not confusing, but there were far too many ways that I could describe it and think about it and explain it to people. And at the moment in my life, my thing is up. So I'm ADHD, so I can be a little bit manic sometimes. So if I'm too up, if I'm overstimulated, if I'm elevated in my mood, if I'm easily set off or distracted or feeling a bit frantic or whatever it is, or my heart rate's up, the best way for me to describe that is up. So, I'm a bit too much up. I'm too up today. And I have, I'll talk a lot about this at a different time. I have lots of ways that I like to identify where I would like to be in terms of my physical and mental state. But the best way to simplify it is, am I feeling up? Am I overstimulated? Am I over the top? Things are too much? Or am I feeling down? I'm feeling depressed. My mood is low. I'm feeling sad. I've got no energy. So try and keep that type of stuff simple. You can always complicate it later if you want, but in the early stages when you've already got enough to think about and there's so many things happening that some of them you can't pay attention to, just think about if I'm up or I'm down. And once you've done that enough times, and then maybe you do start to get a larger vocabulary to understand some of the things that are happening to you, that's going to be a lot easier to diagnose what you're experiencing, therefore prescribe some kind of solution, right? So if you're a bit too up, maybe you need to do some meditating. If you're a bit down, maybe go and have a cold shower, whatever it is. But yeah, get some clarity about what the state of mind and the state of your body is. Is it up or is it down?